welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you're returning. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about braiding synthetic doll hair. I have two examples with me. One is a Blythe doll and her braids are much thicker. This is actually the second doll I ever braided. The first doll I ever braided was my first customer in terms of custom Blythe work. And there was something about her hair that I didn't like, but I didn't want to cut it or do anything permanent to it, so I decided to give the doll a full head of braids, and I ended up loving it so much. I'll show you guys an example right here. It is my Kitty 2.0 Blythe, and ever since then I realized that braiding and dreading doll hair was going to be my thing, because it's so great when it comes to maintaining hair, because if you braid or dread them, they can't get matted and you don't have to worry about it just getting messed up in any way. Now let me show you guys my other example. My other example is a Na 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 surprise doll. I recently got into these dolls because when it comes to customizing them, work is very minimal because they're made of felt or fabric, and you can't really carve or paint fabric. The only thing I can really do with this doll is change up her hair and her clothing. So it makes my life a lot easier, and it just makes it fun and quick. So that is why I love Na 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 dolls. But her hair, you can see there's a lot more strands compared to the Blythe doll. So it looks more realistic in terms of her scale. And I actually like it a lot better. But I want to show you guys the details of how I parted and sectioned the hair by bringing you guys a bit more up close. So follow me. So here is a close-up of my table. And I'll start with the Blythe doll. I really want to focus on the sectioning of the hair. So what I do is I section it in a way so that you don't see the scalp or you don't see any gaps. I actually have to crisscross the tiny fibers here so that it covers the scalp as much as possible. You don't just section it in boxes, because then you're going to have major gaps. So you have to do one section at a time, starting with the top, because it's already parted in a way where you don't see any gaps. So you got to keep that parting and braid accordingly. It might sound a bit confusing now, but once you start getting in the process of braiding, it'll all make more sense. So these strands are much, much, much thicker than the Na 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 dolls, as you can see. So this whole process I could finish in 4 to 5 hours. That's how long this doll took. I basically finished it in one sitting because the braids were so big. But this girl, I literally did it consistently for 4 days. And the reason why I was going to braid her regardless. I'm going to braid or dread any dolls that I customize in the future. But when I took her out of the box, I'll insert a picture right here. You can see that the parting was way off in the back. It was completely open like this, and you could just, it was bad, as you see in the photo. And to fix that, I was going to braid her hair anyway, but what essentially fixes that is braiding or dreading the hair, because you make the hair lay whichever way that you prefer. And I sort of dreaded it in the back because the back of the hair is very thin as opposed to the sides. You can see there's a lot of hair overlapping on the sides, but the back is very thin. So I dreaded it a little bit at the tip to add volume and to cover the scalp a little bit more. But yeah, this is the completed look, and I just love the way her hair shakes. It looks really cool in slow-mo. But what I want to do with her, since my brand is 420 Blythe and it's about weed, I want to add mini pony beads and filigree tubes to her hair. I'll show you guys quickly on how I do that, and then I'll come back with her hair complete. Okay, so these are the things that you will need to decorate the braids. You're going to need to get mini pony beads because it needs to fit the scale, and even this might be too big, but get the mini ones. Depending on how thick or thin your strands are. If it's bigger, obviously get the regular ones. You need rubber bands so that the filigree tubes don't slip. Otherwise, it'll just slide off. And you're going to need, what are these called? You know what this is. You're going to need this because I plan on using What should I use, silver or gold? I'm going to use gold on her, but these filigree tubes are too big. So what I'm going to do is cut them in half. Like this. Now, you're going to need a hair beater. Basically, it's like this needle that loops the hair inside the beads. This can be purchased on Amazon for like $7 or $8. That's where I got it. Let me take a few rubber bands out just in case I need. Alright, now let me get my beads ready. So, in order to bead your hair, you want to do the pattern backwards. So, for example, if I want red, yellow, green, and then black, if I want it in that order, I have to start with the black. So, I'll put the black in first. Then I'll put in the green. Then I'll put in the yellow. Then the red. Alright, like this. Pick the strand. To be honest, like, this is my first time attempting this. I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh my god. Okay, so I got it in, it worked. Now I'm going to take my rubber band right here. So what this does is it allows for the filigree tube to grip onto something, because without it, it'll just slide right off. What you want to do is just roll it on to the rubber band. Okay, so that's what one strand looks like. I clearly have to fix that. It looks really wonky, I know, but I don't know if I'm going to add this to the hair, because now I'm looking at it and I feel like the beads are too big. And the filigree tube's just not looking right. So, yeah, this is an example of how you can decorate the strands, but I think, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Maybe I'll save the finished product of this in a different video, because I literally don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I hope you enjoyed learning about braiding synthetic hair, and if you guys decide to do this, please, yeah, show me in the comments, refer me to your Instagram or whatever so I can see. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like today's video kind of sucked, but I really wanted to show you guys braided hair, and yeah, see you next time, I guess. Bye.